Welcome back, my friends, to the Final Cut. I am your host, Mark the Movie Man, and let's just take a visit today to Winchester. Yes, the new horror film out, brought to us by Michael and Peter Spierig, giving us the story of the Winchester home, a very unusual home that was in continuous construction at the will of Sarah Winchester, the widow of the Winchester Empire. Yeah, she inherited the house and the company from her husband, and we see here how the shareholders want her under a psychiatric evaluation to see if she should still be running the company. So they send Eric Price, a doctor, to evaluate her. As he goes out to the house, he realizes that this house may actually be haunted, and that Sarah Winchester may not be as crazy as everyone thinks. Winchester had the potential of being a fantastic supernatural horror film. I mean, the house alone is visually interesting. So the cinematography in here was really well done, but the subject matter that they had here, it was visually, it just led itself to be shot. So as far as that goes, that was pretty much a slam dunk that cinematography in here was going to be really good, and it is for the chunks of the house that we actually get to see. But this film just seemed to be lacking in all other aspects. I mean, Helen Mirren, who plays Sarah Winchester, and Jason Clarke plays Eric Price, and I enjoyed their scenes. They really make the most of the roles that they have, but what they were given is not a whole lot. Brought to us by CBS Films, and it felt like a CBS film. This felt like it would have been better as a made-for-TV film. It really had that feel, and I know it wasn't shot on much of a budget either, and you can kind of tell how that is. The film was lacking in a lot of depth, I think. It was trying in spots to give your characters a bit more depth, but I think it failed. It fell short, and it's sad because the subject is just so rich with history and interesting aspects that you would think this would have been an easy write-up, but it wasn't. It felt messy. It felt a bit rushed. It felt like they were just doing this to do it. I mean, and I really think it starts with the screenplay that they were given. It's a really by-the-numbers horror film that relied a lot on the jump scares. I think I lost count after like 7 or 8 jump scares in here, and I know it's a tool in horror, but that shouldn't be your only tool. And with a house like this, it should have set up a creepy atmosphere. And we do get some creepy parts with the house. Don't get me wrong. There are some moments in here, but those moments don't come together enough to make this a really good horror film. So I have to say that Winchester, wait for rental. Really, just wait for rental on this. You don't need to see it on the big screen. If you're a Helen Mirren fan or Jason Clarke fan, you'll enjoy it for that. But the story here is very vanilla, very little depth in here, mostly relying on jump scares, and just not a well-crafted horror film. It's just kind of a meh horror film for myself. And it gets slow in some parts. I almost nodded off a couple of times in the movie theater, which usually doesn't happen, but it almost did in this, because there are some slower moments which you wouldn't think you would get in this film from the trailer, but you do. So there you have it, folks. There's Winchester. Wait for rental. I appreciate your support. Please comment if you have seen Winchester. Love to hear your thoughts on this film, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.